Hello, this is OverlordBou, back with another first look video, and today we're looking at the Tier 8 Experimental Toulon Metz. The Go Metz meme. Go Metz, baby. Go Metz. Go Metz. Alright, so this ship is being tested along the Oregon in the VIII for the new concepts of the fight or flight feature and the limited stock shells, and I'll let SAT Score talk about those briefly.
Okay, so what all of these three ships have in common is that they have two highly experimental skills that Wargame wants to test. So the idea behind it is that they're intended to be like. So let's actually start with the first skill, fight or flight. So think of it as a superpowered adrenaline rush, but but at the cost of starting with less HP. So you get dramatically reduced reload time, and your shell dispersion is much tighter. But in exchange, it only activates below a minimum HP threshold, and also, just as importantly, you start with significantly less HP. In this case, Metz will start with about 17,000 HP, was about somewhere between 40 and 50% of her total HP.
Yep.
So if you're not careful, and her heal does not start for you cannot get your heal for another 3 minutes.
Yep.
So if you're not careful, you can just be knocked out of the game within the first 2 minutes before you get to do anything or even use any of your bonuses. But the idea is if you are good enough and know how to control your HP, you can reap a lot of DPM bonus from just improved skill alone. Now, currently, this also stacks with Adrenaline Rush, so Fight or Flight with Adrenaline Rush will make your reload time go down dramatically, like an insane amount. So that's Fight or Flight. The second experimental ship feature is the limited stock shells. In this case, it's a limited AP rounds. It is accessed through the alternative fire mode, aka burst fire mode. You also have to trade off some range in order to use it. In this case, your base range for the Metz is.
It is 18.8, and during burst fire mode, it is reduced to 12.5. As of right now, for the stats, the regular AP, as you can see here, just the shell velocity is 850. The improved AP has increased velocity by 90 to 940, but the special shells, for the special shell consumables, SAT Skur was saying in the other videos of this one, they're going to be added to or not limited to. They're going to be changed fuse times or ricochet angles for these shells are going to be tested. So as of right now, we only know about the initial velocity that's being changed whenever between this shell and then the standard. But they also could be messing with the fuse time for the shells and ricochet angles for these consumable AP shells.
So while you trade off a lot of range for those shells, in theory, those improved shells plus the burst damage can allow you to heavily punish ships that show broadside to you. They're intended to use at closer range and in very specific situations. Because if you mess up your shells, then you get punished with a longer reload time and can leave your ship in a vulnerable state. So both of these, as I said, both of these features are highly experimental. In fact, I would recommend not taking the values at face value. Like, these are intended to represent what Wargaming wants those ships to do, but doesn't necessarily mean they're balanced. In fact, they're just I assume they're not properly balanced right now, and Wargaming can always change the numbers later, depending on what they want to do with the concept.
Yep, exactly.
So how do you think these ships will play?
So as of right now, off of the ships, right, they're going to be very high risk, high reward ships. where it will the early game, you're not going to be aggressive at all with how it is. Again, you can't heal for the first 3 minutes of the match, so you're going to have to at first play really far back, do some long range engagements, not use your HP much at all, and then later in the match is where these ships will shine, when they have the utility of all the heals, and all the utility of their hydro and the engine boost, and having the utility of those special shells as well, because these heals have a 60-second cooldown. So you're able to, once you are over that 3 minutes, you could then be more aggressive if you need to be, or you can still stay more passive, depending upon what you want to do. And a smart player will be able to use that fight or flight feature to their advantage to have a better dispersion, have a better reload time for their shells. And they get low health at all, or they need to use a heal, they got that super heal ready to go. And of course, these heals can be built into by increasing your health with the Charlie Kilo flag, getting the heals quicker with the Nova Foxtrot and the India Delta. You can also build into them with the, I still call it the Superintendent skill for the, well, for the cruisers, it's Superintendent because you get an extra heal. But for battleships, it's called something else to get extra.
Emergency repair party.
Yeah, emergency repair party. Yeah, exactly.
Emergency repair. Close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, so it helps you be able to get your heal quicker and have a stronger heal as well. But it makes it where you can utilize the heal more for all three of these different ships. So these ships, very high risk, high reward. You will get very good rewards for being able to stay alive longer in the match. But you make one little mistake and you're just going to be death struck because of how low HP you start. Because again, you started with this ship at 17,000 health, and in a Toulon, it is such a squishy ship that yeah, you're gonna be suffering a little bit if you get too aggressive too early. So
yeah, just one battleship strike at the start can even just kill you right off the bat. So no bonuses for you.
Yep, exactly.
So as I said before, these features in all three ships, they are very experimental. In fact, no one knows whether Wargame will continue this concept or not. It is possible we may see this in the future. It is also just as possible that it may end up parts of it getting scrapped or even ditched altogether. And as well, do not take these numbers at face value. Those are intended to represent the concepts being shown, and those are always subject to change depending on what Wargame deems appropriate.
Yep. So the final thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that a lot of people, I said this in the other two videos about this features and the consumables, that people were worried that this was a new pay to win, pay to do damage feature like in World of Tanks with the premium shells. I wanted to explain how this is not the same. So in World of Warships, they want you guys to consider this more as a consumable where it's built into the ship. This concept isn't just going to be something where you can buy for any ship. This is only for certain ships that it's built into these. And these ships are designed and balanced around the fact that they have these shells built into them. So it's not something now, if these shells were going to be added to every ship where you could pay to add these kind of shell types to a ship, then yes, that would be a gold ammo for World of Warships, right? I could 100% agree with that. But since that these shells are only accessible on the 3 ships or on limited ships, and they're going to be balanced around that concept, it is not going to be a pay to win feature like in World of Tanks. So don't worry about that. These ships are being balanced with that in mind. So no need to worry about that at all. So just wanted to make that very clear.
All right. Is there anything else we need to cover?
Nope, I think that is going to be it. Make sure you guys, if you guys have any questions or concerns, let us know in the comments down below. This is OverlordBou and SAT score, and we will talk to you all later.